Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles, and on this episode we're going to review New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 33 Finals. That was a mouthful to say. Let's jump right into this. It's pretty early in the morning when I'm recording it. Basically, the G1 just ended 5 minutes ago or so. We start off with a tag team match. We get Oscar Lube and Toru Yano going up against Kaito Kiyomiya and Ryohei Oiwa. And I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong a bit. I do apologize. Again, pretty tired. I've been up all night to watch this. This is an okay starting match, a good tag match to begin the show with. You get some of the young lions in Oiwa and Lube. Toru Yano, I love the guy. Kiyomiya, who hopefully we'll get to see more of as he gets shared between Noah and New Japan. I thought this was an okay match to start the show. Oiwa and Kiyomiya pick up the win here. I'm giving this one a 3. Next up, we have an 8-man tag team match, and we're going to say this a lot. There's a lot of multi-man matches on the show, basically putting all the people that were in the G1 tournament into matches here. On this one, we get Master Wato, Shota Umino, Tomoaki Hanma, and Yuji Nagata going up against Yuto Nakashima, Ren Narita, El Desperado, and Minoru Suzuki. This match I actually liked a little bit better than the opening match, mostly for Shota Umino and Ren Narita, who seem to be being pushed along with Yoda as basically 3 guys to look for the future. You also seen an old rivalry in Nagata and Suzuki in here as well, who've wrestled each other probably 100 different times. For that reason, and the dichotomy of the young people feuding while the old guys that have done it for years are still feuding, I like this match. I like the story being told here. The team of Wato, Umino, Hanma, and Nagata pick up the win here. I'm giving this one a 4. I like this one a lot. I thought this was really fun. Next up, we get another 8-man match. This time we have Yo, Eddie Kingston, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroshi Tanahashi going up against Tiger Mask, Satoshi Kojima, Hiroshi Tenzan, and Toge Makabe. This match has more of your established stars. Obviously, Tenzan, Makabe, Kojima, Tiger Mask 4, Ishii, Tanahashi, all closer to the end of their career than they are to the beginning. All 6 of those wrestlers have laid their imprint on New Japan and made a big impact. Then you got Eddie Kingston, who's looked fantastic all the way through the G1. Yo, who continues to distance himself from his former partner Sho as becoming a real solo star on his own. This match, I kind of felt like, after the match we just seen, took another step back, and it was just a good match. It wasn't bad, don't get me wrong. This more felt like a filler match than the match before it did. The team of Yo, Kingston, Ishii, and Tanahashi pick up the win here. I'm giving this one a 3. Probably the lowest rating I've ever gave a Tanahashi match. Next up, we have another 8-man tag match. I told you we're going to hear that a lot. We got Bolton Oleg, Ryusuke Taguchi, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto going up against Kosei Fujita, Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols, and Zack Sabre Jr. Those guys representing TMDK. Again, I kind of feel like this was just another match to get people on the card, and I know it seems like all these matches are, but if you follow along on the storylines of New Japan, there's a lot of stories that happen out of these multi-person matches. The person taking the pin matters, the person getting the win matters, face-offs within the match matter. I did like the idea of Zack Sabre Jr. and Bolton Oleg coming out of this as feuding with each other, and Bishamon versus Haste and Nichols as a tag team match coming out of this. I thought those are great matches going forward. Ultimately, the TMDK team picks up the win here. I'm going to give this one a 3 as well. Next up is a battle of Guerrillas of Destiny, or former Bullet Club members, Jado, El Phantasmo, Hikuleo, Tamatanga, and Tonga Loa, going up against Kenta, David Finlay, Chase Owens, Alex Coughlin, and Gabe Kidd. Yet again, another 8-man match, but this one felt more like battle lines are being drawn. Tamatanga and David Finlay setting in motion matches to come out of this. Hikuleo and LP looking like they're going to go up against Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd coming out of this as well. I thought this was really fun. I do like the Guerrillas of Destiny versus Bullet Club feud that's been going on basically over a year now. The Guerrillas of Destiny team picks up the win here. I'm giving this one a 4. I thought this one was rather good. Next up, we have LIJ, represented by Bushi, Shingo Takagi, Yota Tsuji, and Hiromu Takahashi. Yes, we have another 8-man going up against Hinare, Great-O-Khan, Jeff Cobb, and Will Ospreay. This is another match I had a lot of fun with. Again, I know we're on, our 4th or 5th 8-man match at this point, and the format's kind of what it is, but I feel like this is a struggle between the United Empire and LIJ, two of the stronger factions in New Japan, that we're going to see going on for a long time. We get an old rivalry in Hiromu and Ospreay, a newer rivalry in Shingo and Ospreay. The interactions with all these guys seem to be really fun. This is a really good match. LIJ picks up the win here. I'm giving this one a 4. Next up, you guessed it, another 8-man match. We have, representing just 5 guys, Sanada, Taichi, Doki, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru going up against Evil, Sho, Yujiro Takahashi, and Dick Togo, representing House of Torture, which I don't know if they're broken off from Bullet Club or they're still part of Bullet Club at this point. It's kind of ambiguous as to where they're going with that. This was your normal shenanigans heavy House of Torture match. Lots of misdirections, lots of interference, lots of weaponry. Basically the antithesis of what you tune in to New Japan Pro Wrestling for. This was a lot of gaga, a lot of sports entertainment for lack of a better word. The House of Torture team does pick up the win, setting up for Evil and Sanada to wrestle against each other for the championship at some point, which I think is a great idea, especially with their history being a great tag team at one point, both coming from LIJ and breaking off and going into their separate factions. I did like the handcuff thing at the end where Sanada got handcuffed to the ropes while they had one of the announcers basically say that Sanada's relinquishing the title to Evil because he doesn't deserve it. Kind of a nice touch, but to me, a little bit too gimmicky of a match. I thought it was good. Can't go much further than that. I'm going to give this one a 3. Now, last but not least, the main event, the finals of the G1 Climax 33. We have Tetsuya Naito versus Kazuchika Okada, and this was fantastic. They kept bringing up the history of these two guys, which overwhelmingly seems to be in Okada's favor. For every Naito match that Naito wins in the G1 or New Japan Cup, when it comes time to wrestle Okada for the championship, he doesn't seem to pull it off there. This seemed to be a hurdle that Naito needs to get over, and it really felt that way. The importance of it, Okada being a little bit on the sadistic side, almost machine-like in the way he was trying to pick apart Naito. Naito going after Okada's head, trying to injure him as well, trying to obviously set him up for Destino. The interactions, the inside the ring, the outside of the ring, the match itself was fantastic. Them working on the fact that both guys just went through a grueling tournament and both are coming in a little bit worse for wear, a little bit injured, a little bit beat up, and working towards that. I really love the story that they told here. These two guys are two fantastic wrestlers. It's safe to say that they're two of the absolute best in the world right now. We get down to the finish. Naito hits a couple Destinos, picks up the win here, which I was a little bit surprised with. It did signal to me that I believe Sanada's going to keep the championship all the way to Wrestle Kingdom to see teacher versus student, Sanada versus Naito, the ex-LIJ teammates going up against each other. It did shock me a bit because Okada wins everything, and I kind of expected Okada to tie Chono's record of getting 5 G1s by winning the G1 here. We did get to see Naito pick up his 3rd G1, so congratulations, Naito. I thought this was a great match, and I know in the beginning I said I have a 1 to 5 scale, and if this is your first time tuning in, I'm going to break my scale. If Dave Meltzer could break his, I could break mine. Mine's not as serious as his. As you can see, mine's more on what I enjoy. I'm giving this match a 6. I thought it was really, really good. I would put it in contention for match of the year right now. I think it's just that good of a match. It's that great of an in-ring story that they told with each other. Afterwards, we see Naito accepting the trophy, getting a fist pound from Masahiro Chono, who came in to present him the trophy and the flag, which they're going to put a ribbon with Naito's name on it, which weirdly I watched a lot of G1s, and that's the first time I picked up that the ribbons on the top have the winners' names on it. I never knew that till just today. So you learn something new, I guess, every day. And I probably watched at least 15 G1 finals, if not more. I'm probably just being on the conservative side. I'd probably say more towards the 20 side. But anyway, I digress. This is a fantastic main event. Two fantastic wrestlers. Naito absolutely deserved it. I'm going to be so happy to watch him main event at Wrestle Kingdom, and I'm going to be cheering for him to win the championship. I like Sonata. I like Naito. I feel like Naito needs that Wrestle Kingdom win more than Sonata does. Sonata obviously is a little bit younger than Naito, so he has a couple years he could do it later on, but I feel like this is Naito's last great chance to have that Wrestle Kingdom moment. All in all, I thought this was a pretty good show. The main event obviously is what everybody tuned in for. Everything else kind of laid the groundwork for what we're going to see the rest of the year in New Japan. I did get a little bit tired of the 8-man tag matches, the format of it. They should have sprinkled in some single matches, some just normal tag team matches in there. Maybe another match of consequences. You could put the Junior Tag Championship on the line, the Never Openweight Championship. It didn't have to be the US/now UK title with Will Ospreay being on the line. You could have put something else there, the Never Openweight Champ, the Strong Openweight Championship, anything, just to give another match that had some meaning to it, I guess, is what I would be looking at. Overall, I'm going to give the whole show a 4. I thought it was enjoyable. They are fun matches. They are good to watch. I may recommend breaking it up in 2 or 3 chunks just so you don't get burn out on the same basic concept of a match over and over again. But ultimately, if you're going to watch anything, definitely watch this main event because it's well worth seeking out and well worth watching if you haven't watched it already. With all that being said, if you made it to the end here, let's smash that like button, share the video, subscribe if you haven't. If you see where it says join, that's how you become a channel member. Becoming a channel member definitely helps out the channel. Shout out to Chris for just joining the other day. If you made it to the end here, let me know what your favorite New Japan faction is. Is it LIJ? Is it Chaos? Is it United Empire? Just 5 Guys? Bullet Club? House of Torture? Let me know down here in the comments. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and this has been my review of the G1 Climax 33 final.